going on, Falcons fans? Logan here. Welcome back to Res Up Rundown, and if you're new here, welcome. All right, so it is good to be back. I needed a break, and now we're back and recharged and ready to go. And we got a lot of mailbag questions to get to, especially from my great friend Archangel, and I believe that one Falcons fan for life has some questions to ask as well. Now, if there's any questions from anyone else, or if it's from that one Falcons fan for life or Archangel, and I did not get to it in this video, I do apologize. These are just the questions that I received as I started recording. I apologize in advance if I missed your question, but these should be all the ones that I got, and let's get straight into it. Archangel asks, will we finally score more touchdowns in the end zone than just settling for field goals this year? Well, I hope. Man, nothing hurts and stings more than seeing what was always our biggest strength, which was offense, and scoring like 30 points a game in 2016 and like 2018 a little bit, and now we just can't seem to be the same team, and it stings. I don't think that we'll ever be at the 30 points per game kind of level this year, but maybe we can average around 25 points per game with this new offense. I think Desmond Ritter should hopefully develop. Arthur Smith hopefully is that offensive guru that we see a little bit of. Like, I think he does have some great offensive plays that he's been using with the Falcons, but I don't think we've seen all of his tricks that he's hiding up his sleeve yet. So hopefully he can unlock his true potential is what I'm saying. And then Kyle Pitts and Drake London. Bijan coming in. We should have a much more improved run game. I would say that this should be a better offense than it was in years past. But I think at most probably 25 points per game is the average. Archangel asks, who is your favorite Falcons running back of all time? All right, so this one's easy for me, Devontae Freeman. And I know. Like, he was the one that was the swinging door in the Super Bowl. I know. But when you take that away, he was one damn great Falcon. Like, I loved his personality and his story. That's why I love Devontae Freeman. When I was first getting into football, I just really respected Devontae Freeman's drive and his will to want to be a starter in the league and to want to be something great. And you could just see it. Like, I felt like he was maybe the most passionate player on the field, at least one of the most passionate on the field. And he was fun to watch. He would use his feet. He was very quick. I loved watching him play. And yeah, sure, he maybe only had like 2 good years. And I argue that 2017 was a good year for him too. I think the only reason it doesn't look as good is because he got injured. And it held him back for a long time. But before he got injured, I felt like he was doing pretty good. But either way, I don't know what the future holds for Freeman, but I wish him the best of luck. But that would be my answer until Bijan inevitably probably becomes my favorite Falcons running back of all time. Archangel asks, what are your expectations for some of the linebackers like Kaden Elliss, Troy Anderson, and Michael Walker? Your thoughts? So the linebacker unit, I think, is the thing I am the least optimistic about for the Falcons. I think we could do a little better, but it's not bad. Michael Walker didn't have the best year last year, but in his defense, he was a pretty solid linebacker in the years before, so I guess I'm just hoping that he can return to his old, I'm hoping he can return to his old self. Troy Anderson, I'm not expecting a lot of things. I'll just kind of be honest. I loved the Troy Anderson pick coming out of the draft, but I don't think that he's gonna develop that quickly. Linebacker is a position that's hard to learn, and this is a guy that's barely even played linebacker his whole football career, so unfortunately I'm not expecting a lot. Though Kaden Elliss I'm growing on a little bit. Seems like everyone is, well, when I say everyone, I mean like Saints fans are pretty upset that he's gone. So I can only assume that he was a pretty good linebacker for them. He's working with Ryan Nielsen. He's very familiar with him. Can only assume that Kaden Elliss should do good. I think it's pretty obvious, at the moment at least, that he should be our best linebacker for the year. But we shall see. Archangel asks, do you think Heinecke is breathing down Ritter's neck? Do you think he'll bring out the best in Ritter this year and help push us over the top and in the playoffs? Honestly, yeah. I don't see why he wouldn't. I think every quarterback is well aware that Taylor Heinecke is a quarterback that can take the starting spot if need be. And I know I kind of teased it in the hype trailer sneak peek. I did hype up Taylor Heinecke a little bit. I do think Desmond Ritter is going to have a great year, and he's going to start. But you never know. If Taylor Heinecke has to step in, he can do some things. He is not to be slept on. He can be a very powerful quarterback. He's not some franchise starting caliber quarterback or anything, but man, when you need a backup to get the job done, he can get the job done. And I can't imagine that Desmond Ritter doesn't feel at least a little bit of pressure to be better. Archangel asks, on which game will you determine if Desmond Ritter is our quarterback for years to come or not? I think it just depends on the progress we're seeing within maybe 6 games. Maybe I guess quote unquote half a year is when I would say, all right, how's he looking? He was a 3rd round quarterback. If it's super slow progress or no progress at all, unfortunately, I would say, I just don't think he's the guy. But if he's showing some progress throughout the first 6 games, I'd be like, okay, he's looking pretty good for us. I don't know if I'd say, unless he's like Patrick Mahomes level good or something, then I would obviously say, yeah, just pay him right now. But if he's just, good, if he's just if you had a tier list and you would put him in the good tier, not the great tier of quarterbacks, but just the good tier of quarterbacks, I would need to say a little more before I say he's the franchise quarterback in the years to come. If he's just good throughout the year, I would need to see another year of Ritter. If he's a great or better quarterback this year, then yeah, why not pay him? Soon. Archangel asks, are you interested in ever doing a Rise Up Rundown meet and greet at a game, tailgate, bar, club, park, etc., etc.? Yes. I've been thinking about how I can do that. I hope I don't sound insecure, but I was worried I was like, okay, am I at least on the level that people would care to meet and greet? So I don't know, maybe I'm just being insecure or something, but I did think about that. I just, I don't know how I would do it yet. I would need to plan some things out because I don't live in Georgia. I live in Florida. So I would have to really carefully plan out when to go, and then, how do I even do it? Because I'm assuming that a good fraction of the people that watch, not even just Rise Up Rundown, but all Falcons related stuff, I'm assuming most of them live at least somewhere in Atlanta. So, I would obviously try and make a meetup somewhere in Atlanta, but the only place that I'm super familiar with around that area at the moment is Marietta. But if there's any other area that, would be kind of cool to meet and greet, I guess I'll just look into it. But when would it happen? Not really sure. But if it happens, I will be very excited to let you guys know. But yes, I have been interested. Archangel asks, who will have more touchdowns, Tyler or Bijan this year? I would imagine Bijan. I would imagine that they're going to give the rookie a lot of, playing time and touchdowns, not even just to boost his confidence and whatnot, but, I know Bijan didn't play yet, but, I just am assuming that he's probably going to be the better running back than Tyler Algier, probably, right? So even though I like Tyler Algier, I don't think the touchdown ratio for those guys is going to be drastic. I think maybe Tyler could get because I think most of our touchdowns are going to be from the running game. Maybe Tyler Algier gets 8 touchdowns maybe, and then Bijan gets 12. I know that sounds like a lot, but I just, I think the running game is going to be what scores points. Not really our passing game. I think the passing game will at least improve from how it was in years past, but not really be the vocal point of our offense, if that makes sense. Archangel asks, what was your true thoughts about NFL Twitter posting the whole Super Bowl 51 whole debacle? All right, well, that was just, I don't understand why the NFL can't just find other Super Bowls to post. I don't know if a lot of you have seen the TikTok short where I'm saying Falcons fans reflecting back on Super Bowl 51. When they reposted Super Bowl 51, I was motivated to just be like, okay, NFL, you need to know exactly what Falcons fans are feeling. And they deleted the post, so maybe they did hear it. Maybe they did hear how we're all feeling and everything, but but that was annoying. Like, they can't ever just find other great Super Bowls. They can't ever just post Super Bowl with the Steelers and Cardinals, or the Patriots and Seahawks, the Chiefs and 49ers. They can't even do the freaking Immaculate Reception. Nope, the only Super Bowl they can ever do ever is the Falcons and Patriots. And I get it. People are claiming it's the best Super Bowl of all time. I also get that the NFL is a big business. I won't deny it. I'm not going to deny it. Yes, Super Bowl 51 probably is what would get the most views and give them the most money. But at the same time, are you just saying that there's no other Super Bowl that would get you views and money? What are you doing, NFL? Post a different Super Bowl, for crying out loud. Falcons got to win a Super Bowl soon to at least, make 28-3 just not really go away forever, but just kind of be not as hurtful, I guess. We got to win soon. That one Falcons fan for life asked, is Arthur Smith head coach of the year, Bijan offensive rookie of the year, and Kyle Pitts comeback player of the year? Arthur Smith head coach of the year, I think it really just depends on how the team does. If we overachieve, because if the Falcons win the division but only do it at 9 or 10 wins, I don't think that'll be enough to win coach of the year. But if we overachieve and get 11 or 12 wins, yeah, I think he would definitely be in conversation to win coach of the year. I'd even be surprised if he didn't win it. Bijan winning rookie of the year, totally possible. That might even be my prediction right now, is that he wins offensive rookie of the year. And Kyle Pitts comeback player of the year. Unfortunately, I don't predict that because, people know that Kyle Pitts is good. So if they see him come back, they're probably still going to forget about him because we're the Falcons, unfortunately. But, that'd be awesome if Kyle Pitts won it. Archangel asks, do you believe that Ritter is just another bridge quarterback for us? Or is he the quarterback? My gut feeling about him entering the season is I feel good about him, but I don't feel great about him. I don't think that this year is the year where we're going to see a lot of improvement. Again, I think most of our offensive scores are going to be from running the football. Now, yeah, you might see Desmond Ritter, run as a quarterback, but, you obviously want to see how he is as a passer. And I just don't think that this is the year where we see a ton of improvement for Ritter. I think he's going to be fine. I think he's got, quote unquote, an easy job right now, being most of the time he's just got to hand it off to his running backs. And when it's time for him to pass, he's already taken enough breaks from throwing the football. He's got great players like Kyle Pitts and Drake London to throw it to. Should be a quote unquote easy job for Desmond Ritter, but I don't think he'll be great this year. I think he'll just be good. So I would need maybe another year to see if he's the guy for the future. Archangel asks, could the offensive line be even better than it was last year? Sure. I don't see why not. I think adding in Matthew Bergeron from the rookie draft class should be an upgrade. Caleb McGarry looked great, and hopefully he can stay how he was last year or even better. We got the best guard in the NFL in Chris Lindstrom, a solid tackle, and Jake Matthews. But we do need to fix that center situation. But other than that, I don't see why it wouldn't be better. And maybe these running backs with Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier, they're going to play so well that it's going to make the offensive line look so good. I don't know. So, but yeah, I think we can be better. Archangel asks, who will be our MVP player to help push us over the top and into the playoffs if we make it there this season? Ooh, good question. So on offense, I think it's probably going to be Bijan. I just think that they're going to utilize him so much. I really, really think that they're going to use him a lot and score so many touchdowns. Jesse Bates is another candidate to be the MVP. our pass rush, I think, will inevitably be better now that Ryan Nielsen is stepping in. And the secondary will improve because of that, but they'll also learn a lot with Jesse Bates right next to them. So I would say it's a mix between Jesse Bates and Bijan. Grady Jarrett finally might not be double teamed now that they have to get Calais Campbell and David Onyemata. So Grady Jarrett could be in that MVP conversation. AJ Terrell is another one. There's a lot of them, but if I had to choose two, I would say Bijan and Jesse Bates. Archangel asked, which side of the football has more pressure to perform this year, the defense or the offense? Oh man, it's very even. I think they both have a lot to prove. Offense has a lot to prove because they have an unproven quarterback and a head coach that I don't think is like on the hot seat or anything, but we do kind of want to see his full potential. Like, it's like, okay, we got this guy because he's like an offensive guru. We've seen a little bit of his magic, but where is all the magic? And we're not utilizing Kyle Pitts. Are we this great offense that we keep hyping it up to be? Let's kind of kick the pig here with the offense. But I think the defense ever so slightly has an edge for more pressure to perform this year, because our defense has not been good since the cavemen existed, is what it feels like. Exaggeration, but it feels like they have not been good since cavemen existence. They got to perform. We just got Calais Campbell to have a great locker room, leadership, all that kind of good stuff going on there. We're not trying to double team Grady Jarrett anymore. Bringing in Jesse Bates. Ryan Nielsen looks promising. We got to get that defense going. Archangel asks, who will have more yards ran this year, Bijan or Tyler? Bijan probably. I guess I kind of said this like in almost like every question I've answered, but I just think that they're going to utilize Bijan a lot. It'd be weird if they got a running back 8th overall and didn't use him a lot. Now, I think Tyler Algier is still going to have a fine year and maybe even get 1,000 yards, but Bijan, a lot of people are like already predicting 2,000 yards for the season, and I'm just kind of like, yeah, he's great, but like, I don't know, let's calm down a little bit. Like, he is a rookie, but even though I'm still predicting like that 1,200 or 1,500 yard season, yes, I think he'll be great. But we'll just see. But I think Bijan will have more yards. Archangel asks, which rookie will have the biggest impact on their NSA South team this year in 2023? Being honest and unbiased, Brian Breesy for the Saints, Kalijah Cansey for the Bucks, Bryce Young for the Panthers, and Bijan for the Falcons. Your personal opinion. Honestly, I wouldn't change a thing. I think you nailed it. I think you absolutely nailed it. The Saints, I honestly don't know their draft class too well. I just know that Brian Breesy was a pretty solid pickup for them. So, credit where it's due. I won't be biased. Like, that was a good move, Saints. Credit where it's due. I'm not gonna act like it wasn't. For the Bucks, he looks like an exciting player because, he has missing teeth and he is ready to go. He's got that football energy, and the Bucks did need like a little bit of help on that offensive line, kind of quietly. Like, I know they obviously have some talent on there, but so I think the Bucks obviously have a good offensive line to work with and develop him, but also at the same time, they did need a little bit of help. Bryce Young, I think, will be great right away. Probably, well, not right away, but, in his first year, I think he's going to look promising. And then Bijan, I just can't even shut up about him. Archangel asks, out of all the wide receivers to ever play the game in the NFL, who would you compare Drake London to? All right, so I thought, I have to use this word carefully, but I thought carefully of who I would compare him to. I'm more just saying, I think in like the near future, maybe. Drake London at his full potential. Like, who could he be at his very best? Hear me out, but Mike Evans. And I'm saying, like, if Drake London ever gets at his very best, Mike Evans was never like the best like separator. Like he never really could separate. He was more just kind of like a physical receiver with strong hands. That's what Drake London is to me. I don't know if Drake London, well, I mean, I guess Drake London can separate a little bit, but like, okay, so I think his separation skills are better than Mike Evans, but Drake London, I think, is more of a physical receiver that has strong hands more than he is like a quick receiver that can outrun you, if that makes any sense. But this is going to take a little bit of time. I'm not saying Drake London's going to be Mike Evans right now in 2023. I'm kind of just saying when he gets there, because I think he can. I believe in Drake London. He could be like a Mike Evans, but with better separation. That's probably a little too much, but I also just said that Kyle Pitts was Megatron if he was a tight end, so maybe that was too much. But I really do think that Drake London can get there, but it will take time. I don't think it'll happen this year. It's going to take time, like I said, but that's what I got. Let me know what you guys think. Archangel asks, are you thinking about ever changing your intro or logo for your brand on YouTube? At the moment, no. I always kind of liked the Rise Up Rundown. It was always like kind of catchy when I made it. Rise Up Rundown I thought of when I was like, I wasn't really in college. It was like a technical school, but I always just call it college. When I was 18, I was like, oh man, I want to start a Falcons channel, but what should I call it? And I was like, okay, well, I think this is literally how I thought of it. Like I was like, all right, well, I need to just take a bit of a rundown for what rundown. Oh my God. Rise Up Rundown. And then I just had like the little light bulb on top of my head. I was like, I got it. And then the logo is just a little new. Like the one where I'm just kind of like, like the one where I'm just kind of like pointing at the camera. It's a little new for me to change, unless people just don't like it. I didn't really hear. I know people like the new intro, but I don't know if people like the new logo. So if you guys like the logo, then great. But if you think some changes need to be made, I will be all eyes and ears. But at the moment, I have not thought about any change. That one Falcons fan for life asks, why hasn't Rashad Evans been signed? I'm not a genius, but I heard him clearly state that he wants to stay in Atlanta. Not to mention he's been a vital part of that defense. Yeah, I don't know. Rashad Evans was honestly pretty good, but like, why does he not want to stay in Atlanta? Why didn't Atlanta want to keep him? Honestly, man, I think it was kind of just to make room for some bigger players like Jesse Bates and Calais Campbell and all that. I think it was kind of just to make some room for Rashad Evans. Why hasn't Rashad Evans been signed yet? Honestly, I don't know. Maybe there's some sort of off-field thing or something. I don't really know. There's always something weird going on when a player doesn't get signed pretty quickly. Like Dalvin Cook, I'm like, why isn't he signed? Is it just because he's a running back? And then the whole tragic girlfriend murder thing is going on, and I'm like, oh. Now, I'm not saying Rashad Evans is doing anything in that nature. I'm simply just saying shocking things can happen, so I don't really know what's going on with Rashad Evans, is all I'm really saying. That one Falcons fan for life asked, the red helmet schedule is out. How do you feel? All right, I'll be honest, I kind of forgot like how many times we're wearing the red helmets. I need to look at it again. But either way, I'm excited for the red helmets. Archangel asks, give the people what they want. In a very early score prediction game, Panthers versus Falcons, week 1. All right, so I think the Falcons should hold on to this one. I don't think Bryce Young is going to be, I don't think he'll be bad, but it is his first game, so I think he's going to have some learning curves. And the Falcons are normally pretty good against the Panthers, especially at home. I think that the pass rush at home with Ryan Nielsen should also be extra motivated and extra ready to go. So I will go with Falcons win 27-23. Archangel asks, should Bijan have to work for and earn that number 1 running back spot since Tyler Algier broke a record for the Falcons' 1,000 yards? I personally actually do think that Bijan should earn the starting spot. And I've had some disagreement with that in the comments anytime I talk about that, and that's fine. I'm not saying you're wrong for saying that. I'm not gonna argue with it. It's a football opinion. It's, none of us are always gonna agree with everything we ever say. So if you think that Bijan should get the starter as running back number 1, then I will not argue with it. It's probably gonna be the right thing to do, because I do think in the end, sure, Bijan probably is gonna be the better running back. But for me personally, we still don't really know that yet. Like, we're still like, okay, we expect Bijan to be great, but we don't actually know that yet. I think it's a little disrespectful for Tyler Algier to sit after having a 1,000-yard season as a rookie. That's just me personally. But if they want Bijan to start, then I guess so be it. Archangel asks, how are you with taking very positive comments versus very good comments on your channel? Honestly, well, they uplift me. The hype trailer sneak peek that I released not long ago, it blew up everywhere, like on Twitter, YouTube, everywhere, and everyone's like excited for it. And I sound corny, but I'm not even kidding. Like, I started like shaking, and I felt a tear shedding from my eye. I was kind of like shaking like this. I think because I was excited, because look, I get it's like the dead period of the NFL, but like I did kind of feel like I was like struggling to get anything going with the channel. And so seeing that, people are making positive comments towards the hype trailer coming out makes me believe in myself a little bit. It makes me know, okay, I still got this. Like, I'm not dead, I guess. And when I get positive comments, like if people say, I look up to your stuff, it really, is something I look up to, and you're one of my favorite content creators out there. I never want you to think that your comments go unnoticed. They mean a lot. I start shaking like I did, and I start like feeling tears because it makes me believe in myself. I might on the outside look like I present, a lot of confidence, but I definitely have my moments of like, what am I doing? And then when I get uplifting comments from you guys, it makes me believe in myself even more. So I just have to thank you all. And I just hope that I'm doing what I can to keep this alive, I guess. Archangel asks, I see you getting ready with the hype video for the Falcons and all. So what would be a successful Falcons 2023 season for Logan in your mind? Explain. They gotta make playoffs. If they don't make playoffs, I don't think Arthur Smith gets fired necessarily, but he would definitely be on the hot seat, because it's like, okay, we're in year 3. Why have we not made playoffs? So we have to make playoffs, whether it be just getting in the 7th or 6th seed, whether it be winning the division. You gotta make playoffs, no matter what. The defense has got to be better. Like, at least make them like a top 20 or top 16 unit. They got to make improvements. We have not seen this defense be good in a long time. And especially adding in players like Jesse Bates and Calais Campbell, no excuses. And I would like to see Desmond Ritter improve. So Desmond Ritter needs to improve. Defense needs to improve, and we need to make playoffs. At least at like 10 and 7 now. Got to make playoffs, especially. I think that's the number 1 goal. And Archangel asks, are you thinking about going to the Tampa Bay game in Tampa? I've already got my ticket, very first row, behind the end zone. That's an amazing seat, by the way. Tickets are going for cheap since, no Tom Brady. Let me know. Maybe we can meet up again, my friend, and chop it up. Hashtag rise up. I'll let you know. If it's in October, I don't think I would be able to go. I think in October I will be out of town. I kind of forget when the game is, but if it's in October, unfortunately, I think I'll be out of town. But man, if it's not in October, I'd totally be down, and I would just have to message you and let me know. Let me know how things go, and maybe we can get something going there. But I would be totally down. But if it's in October, I worry, because I will be out of town in October. But I hope. I just, I forget when the game is. That's all it really is. I kind of just forgot. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and stay tuned for the hype video coming out. It'll be amazing. And, stay safe. And as always, rise up.